I'm Warren Buffett. For over 70 years, I've watched people chase quick riches, big trades, hot tips, overnight empires. Most end up broke or stuck. The real secret? It's not genius. It's not luck. It's boring, disciplined habits repeated every single day. The chains of habit are too light to feel until they're too heavy to break. Today, I'm sharing the 5 weapons I've used to build wealth quietly, steadily, and forever. No hype, no shortcuts, just truth. If you're ready to stop dreaming and start compounding, stay with me. Let's begin. You think wealth arrives like lightning, a single blinding flash of genius that turns nothing into billions overnight. You hunt for that one legendary trade, that perfect moment when the screens erupt and the world bows. But wake up, that story is fiction, a Hollywood lie sold to keep dreamers distracted and comfortable in mediocrity. Real wealth is invisible, silent, and excruciatingly boring. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It compounds in the dark while the world sleeps. Most people picture financial ruin as a hurricane, sudden, violent, and dramatic. The market crash, the bad bet, the startup that evaporates. They brace for the storm. What they miss is that hurricanes are rare. The true killers are termites. No roar, no warning. Just relentless, microscopic bites, day after day, year after year, eating the foundation until the entire structure collapses under its own weight. Your daily habits are those termites. The $5 coffee you justify, the hours lost scrolling, the impulse purchases to impress people who don't care. These feel harmless in the moment, but compounded across a decade or two, they don't just erode savings, they guarantee a life of quiet financial slavery. Here is the brutal, liberating truth. The same law that destroys can also build. You can breed your own termites, positive, disciplined, invisible ones that work tirelessly in your favor. For over 70 years, I never chased headlines, never invented the future, and never predicted the next bubble. I simply repeated small, unglamorous, often tedious habits every single day. They weren't sexy, they didn't make me look clever, but decade after decade, they compounded silently into an unshakable fortress of wealth and freedom. As Warren Buffett has said, successful investing takes time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. These are not mere habits. They are weapons, weapons of ruthless simplicity, forged for the long war against mediocrity and distraction. The first weapon is cognitive humility, embodied in what I call the too hard pile. Ego loves complexity. It mistakes difficulty for intelligence. School rewarded dense essays, Wall Street rewards labyrinthine models, and founders chase revolutionary moonshots. Yet $1 earned from boring carpet or chewing gum is worth exactly the same as one from bleeding-edge biotech. The market pays for results, not for how hard you tried to look smart. My rule is merciless. Every morning I scan proposals. If I cannot grasp within 3 minutes how the business truly makes money, who its real competitors are, and what the industry looks like 10 years from now, it goes straight into the wooden tray on my desk called the too hard pile. No calls, no spreadsheets, no second guessing. I drop it and move on. This single weapon is a psychological superpower. It slays ego, keeps you inside your circle of competence, and preserves capital by avoiding catastrophe. As Warren Buffett puts it, The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. True wealth is rarely created by solving impossibly hard problems. It is most often protected by refusing to touch them. The second weapon is the 500-page rule, your invisible compounding engine. The average person today is drowning in noise, flashing tickers, crisis headlines, endless social media dopamine. They call it research. It is distraction. Real knowledge is slow, patient accretion. Every day I read 500 pages, annual reports of companies I've never owned, biographies of people long dead, dense histories of business and human behavior. Each page seems to yield nothing immediate, yet over years it builds a mental moat no crash can breach. You begin to see patterns others miss, connections others cannot make. Charlie Munger captured it perfectly. In my whole life, I have known no wise people over a broad subject matter area who didn't read all the time. None. Zero. 1 hour a day of timeless reading, disconnected from the news cycle, gives you an intellectual edge money cannot buy. The third weapon is mastery of the empty room, the deliberate rejection of action bias. Most humans cannot stand stillness. Left alone, they reach for the phone, invent busy work, chase the illusion of productivity. That panic drives overtrading, panic selling, and the pursuit of every shiny opportunity. Charlie and I operate like crocodiles, motionless, conserving energy, waiting. When a genuine high-probability chance appears, we strike with overwhelming force and conviction. Train yourself in silence, 30 minutes daily in an empty room, no distractions, no music, just you and the discomfort. Learn to tolerate the itch. That tolerance becomes the foundation of disciplined, decisive action. As Munger observed, the big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting. The fourth weapon is daily capital respect, crystallized in what looks like a trivial ritual. $2.61 at McDonald's every morning. Not miserliness, reverence. Every dollar saved is a soldier that recruits more soldiers, compounding in silence. Lifestyle creep is the velvet prison most wealthy people build for themselves. Earnings rise, so houses grow, cars upgrade, watches flash. Freedom is quietly mortgaged to appearances. My antidote is brutal simplicity. Freeze your lifestyle. When income increases, do not spend more, invest more. Let your empire expand, while you appear almost unchanged to the outside world. Buffett reminds us, do not save what is left after spending, spend what is left after saving. The fifth and final weapon is the nightly audit of the inner scorecard. Most live by the outer scorecard, buying, dressing, and acting for applause, racking up debt for vacations and status symbols that vanish the moment the likes stop. When the crowd turns away, their self-worth collapses. I ask myself every night, if no one else knew what I did today, if there were no witnesses, no social proof, would I still approve of these choices? Would I still make this investment, this purchase, this commitment? No, ego has taken the wheel. Living by the inner scorecard means building wealth and a life for yourself, not for the gallery. Buffett framed it best. The big question about how people behave is whether they've got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. These 5 weapons, the too hard pile, the 500-page rule, mastery of the empty room, daily capital respect, and the nightly audit of the inner scorecard, require no genius, no privileged start, no secret network. They demand only discipline, patience, and the courage to be consistently boring
when everyone else is chasing excitement. Wealth is not a sprint for the cleverest mind in the room. It is a marathon won by the most disciplined soul. Start small. Start today. Let your positive termites go to work in silence. In 20 or 30 years, you will look back and realize the empire was never built in a single dramatic day. It was carved breath by breath, choice by choice, into existence while the world was busy looking the other way. Choose your chains wisely. They are too weak to feel until they are too strong to break.